Drake like
Drake
Instagram.
is yes.
Drake is like very much like Instagram. Snapchat come out, they got the little story shits. All right, Instagram,
Boom,
we're
I'ma
gonna
add
add
that.
story.
Mhm.
TikTok make reels. Oh shit, let's add reels. What was that other jump where you can go live? Oh, now Instagram can go live.
Yeah, Twitch, yeah.
I'm saying, all the nigga really been doing for his career is copying shit. We don't know Drake's style.
No clearance.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the No Clearance Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler. Please make sure you hit subscribe if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. And if you're listening on the audio, make sure you leave us with a rating and review. Now, I got with me on the pod the queen of the pod herself, host of the Dare to Talk podcast. Okay, the hair looking fly, looking amazing. We got K to the KC in the building.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Oh, oh. Bang, bang. Oh, 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 oh.
Dog pound. Oh, oh. KC, how you doing?
Hurts my esophagus.
I cannot. I'm alive and well. I can't complain.
That's
Doing
beautiful.
pretty
That's
good.
beautiful. I hope you had a great week off from the pod.
I did.
You know, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Once again, I know we talked about this before, but the pink fit for the birthday.
Yeah.
Absolute fire.
Fire flames.
Yeah. Shout out to
Cameron would have been proud. You know what
I
I'm
just
saying?
needed the fur jacket.
Oh,
you know what
man.
I mean?
Cameron
That
would
would've
have been.
Yo, the fur with the fur. But you live in Houston. That might have been too much. You live in
It don't matter.
storm.
It don't
I had
matter
a trench
sometimes.
coat. No, Tyler. It was hot. It was hot.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been sweating
air
up a
is heavy.
storm.
You gotta put it on when you go inside. You know what I'm saying? Soon as you step in, put the coat on it. It's a little breezy in here.
It was hot.
Hit him with the a little breezy in here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God!
It's not hot at all.
It's not hot at all. We got producer of the pod himself, the man with the plan, Mr. West, in the building. We got JJ. How you doing, my dog?
I'm back.
Yeah.
That's right.
By the way, hold on, because I've been meaning to tell you, my nigga. Boy, that faded, nigga. That haircut on
It's 2 times in a row. The shitty nigga did good 2 times in a row. I think the nigga's nice guy. I think I found a barber. I think I found a barber.
That haircut hit.
That's back-to-back times.
Oh, man.
Back-to-back.
So he's not shitty if he did it 2 times back to back.
Hey, the nigga used to suck. The nigga used to suck.
He just
getting
needed
better.
to
Put
get
in
better.
reps.
He needed.
Hey,
You know
he
what I
sucked
mean?
at first. I'm gonna
He
tell
put
you.
in
I got a
reps.
haircut from him. I got a haircut from the nigga last year. Wasn't the best. Wasn't the worst. Wasn't the best. That felt average. Never had one before.
He was probably fresh out of barber school.
Probably nigga young. He's young. He
Yeah,
young. He a little light on the clippers. He a little light on the clippers. But now it's been a year. It's been a year. I went to him again a couple weeks ago. I was
Very
like,
legit.
fuck. I hope he don't fuck up this haircut. I really hope he don't.
Yeah, he
And
just
then he
needed
was
some
nice.
experience.
Well, you know how another thing that made me nervous because he was cutting someone's hair. I was in there one day and the nigga said, "What the fuck you doing?" and got up and left. So I was nervous. But the nigga's nice. The nigga adapted. The nigga learned his lesson. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga look left.
They don't shake you up.
Yeah, I was shooketh. I was a shooketh. All right.
Hey, that nigga looked around and was like, "What got? All right, who coming on?"
The owner's this big ass dude. He swole as shit. He was like, "Hey, it's all good, man." He walked like this. He'd be like, "Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good, man. Hey, you gonna be fine." And then he was like, "Yeah, man, though it's not anything. He started sweeping. It was sad. I was sitting there. I was like,
I've been dreading going to the barber shop because I don't want to be in the middle of a haircut and find out my wife's going into labor.
Oh my god! That's a fear.
You gotta see it through though.
Yeah.
I gotta see it through, and I don't want to be that nigga. She be like, "Did you?" did you make sure your haircut was complete? I don't want to go through none of that. So I'm just like, I gotta wait till this baby boy to get a cut, man. I gotta wait at this point. We week 39.
And just knowing time,
right?
you know what I mean? Yeah, no. That's
Oh
smart.
my
Little
God.
shorty could come any second, any day, you know what I'm saying? So I've been cooling, but haven't looking crazy, I feel like, but hey, it is what it is. I've gone through longer stints in college. So
yeah. Haven't we all?
My
Remember
goodness.
Afro J?
Afro J was crazy.
Afro J was wild. Different time.
All right. Jay, we're gonna start with you first, my nigga. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was a good weekend. I went to go celebrate the homie Woods 30th birthday party.
Ooh, big shout out to Wood.
He had it at a little
No
venue.
Clearance
It
legend.
was nice. Yes, he was on. He was our first ever guest. I believe that nigga was our first guest.
Nah, Lord was our first guest, but Wood was
he was our second guest. He was up
and KC, when I tell you, when we interviewed him, and he had all of his plants behind him.
Just weed on weed.
Just absolutely amazing.
He's trying to set the vibe.
Yeah.
He was setting the tone for sure. He had all of his plants behind him. I said, all right, my nigga. Had the fan going to keep the plants.
Yeah.
Oh, it was funny as shit. We could barely hear the nigga.
I'm screaming.
It was a good time, though. It was a good time. Got to see all the homies, all the brothers. Bailey, Elijah.
Shout out to the brothers, man.
Cole.
Shout out to the brothers.
Robert Craig.
Man, Craig.
Yeah, Robert Craig.
Good nigga, man.
Friggin'
he white, but he a good nigga.
Good time, though. Good time. Good time. But I gotta talk about this nigga Elijah.
Shout out to E.
So, Elijah, if you... All right. This is our friends of the podcast. Our friend Elijah is an interesting cat. Love him to death. Very goal-oriented.
Great man.
So, we in the kitchen chopping it up. The homie Wood, his girlfriend goes, anything in the fridge, anything in the cabinet, you can have it. Need it out the house. Right? So she opened the cabinet, there's mad snacks in there. Like she's like, you can eat. It was a cabinet full of snacks. I was like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. And Elijah's like, yeah, there's everything in here. So we're sitting there about to eat the snacks. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take one of these Snickers, one of these bite-sized Snickers. So I go, hey, I was like, I'm just gonna grab a Snickers, something real small. And he goes, yeah, man, that's great, but hey, is this gonna help you stay on your goal? I was like, nigga. I'm gonna take another. I love this nigga Elijah.
He was supporting you.
Nah, but see, Jay, did you even tell him you had a goal?
Not as of recent.
That's what I'm saying. Jay, you ain't telling him you had a goal.
Oh.
Yeah, I love Elijah, man. He just cracks me up, man. He makes me laugh so much.
E was the one who had the idea of the summit, the little summit I was telling y'all about a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Got to talk about our goals and things of that nature. It was cool. Jay, you should join us next time.
He's not going to. I'll say it for Jalen. He wasn't into it the first time. And the fact that I know he wasn't into it, it speaks volumes. He wasn't feeling that shit.
No, because I know Jay though, because if he joins and once we get talking.
For Jalen to complain to me about something, no.
The thing is, I know Jay. So once we get talking in the thing and he realized what we really doing there, he'd be like, oh shit, I'm inspired. Like I could really I'm gonna fucking do whatever.
Don't be speaking for me, nigga.
I know you very well.
He looks hesitant. I'm just saying, if he goes, it's because it's like, fuck,
get out my head.
That's literally how that's been me and Jay's relationship, though. He'll be like, why the fuck we got to do this? I'm like, nigga, come on. All right.
I'm just telling you.
He'll be like, oh, man, that was all right.
Was not eager.
You know what it is? I just don't like going nowhere. So I'm going to protest a little. I know, but I don't like going nowhere and doing nothing.
No, he be protesting it. And it's like, if you just do it, you be, afterwards, he'd be like, yo, that was straight. That was what's up. That's just what the nigga
get out my head, nigga.
I'm telling you what he said to me. He said, I don't want to fucking go. Why the fuck are we talking about this? So
I didn't say all that.
I'm gonna add a little Tony's on it. That's what you wanted to say. That's what you were feeling.
One thing now he might do this. I know he's not gonna do like because we talked about doing a Spartan race or some shit like that. You know.
Oh yeah, they asked me about that too. He was like, "Yo, so you gonna join us?" I was like, "Oh no."
Why not?
He's like, "How come?" He was like, "Why not?" Exactly. That's exactly what he said. I was like, "Cause I don't want to."
It's a 3-mile run. It's a 3-mile run.
That's not bad. 3 miles
with some obstacles in between.
That's not that bad.
I mean,
you got a condition for that shit. Though.
Yeah, I do gotta get in shape. You gotta get in shape.
You're in your relaxed era. I respect it, Jay.
You know, if I'm getting in shape, I'm getting in shape in my own time.
That's like the difference between some motherfuckers that do marathons and motherfuckers that cheer you on.
I work out.
I'm gonna throw you an orange, throw you a water, but I'm not doing it. So
I work out for leisurely purposes, not competitive
Jalen
purposes.
is in shape. Jalen's in shape, but he's not like conditioning test in shape.
No, I don't. I think Jalen's just trying to, I want to do this because I want to do it, not because we have something.
I've never putting certain challenges in front of him. It would be because I know he could do it, but it'll just be like. We waiting on the day. Like we gonna finish together. I'm
gonna take my time. I'm gonna take my time. I always take my time. Now sometimes taking my time is faster than other times, but if I really gotta take my time, niggas gonna take their time.
That's right.
Gotta be climbing walls and shit. I'm good, bro. I'm good on all that.
Yes, I respect it.
I didn't go to the military for a reason.
Exactly. Big shout out. Thank you for all those who serve. You know what I'm saying? But much respect. Much respect.
Y'all the real
respect.
KC, how was your weekend? How was your week? It's been a while.
You know what? My week's actually. Oh, I missed you guys too. First of all, I learned that this is like the millennial heart. The new kids do a heart.
Yeah, they do. I can't do that. My fingers
ripped heart. Man.
You know,
my fingers can't do it.
This is a heart.
My fingers can't do it.
That's a heart. Oh, that's
tragic.
I feel like I'm doing Naruto shit, man. This is ridiculous. Just go like
gang affiliation on your side.
I can't do it. My wrist hurt.
I really didn't do anything crazy. I was like, you know what? I'm turning 30. And so
welcome to the club.
I'm sorry, what? How old are you again?
You motherfucker.
You shouldn't have said it. I wasn't gonna say it. Why'd you have to whisper it? We know your age. I already welcome you to the club.
You know what? I was born in 1994. Y'all could do the math. It's 2024.
Hey,
there you go.
Okay,
math problem.
I call it a factory reset. It's a factory reset.
You know
Everything in your 20s don't count no more.
No. So my wholeness got deleted.
Oh, okay.
If you think of it that way, it's a factory reset. You can reset whatever you want.
Damn,
you turn 30, it's a new decade. That's what I'm thinking about.
You know what I mean? That's not a bad.
Yeah, every 10 years, it's like, hey, come on now. I was in my 20s when that happened. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
That's actually not a bad. But you know what? I will say it does feel different because I think in my 20s, when it was my birthday, I'm like, oh, we got to get fucked up. And I'm telling you, this birthday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy a rug for the living room. I'm going to buy, some frames.
Take your shoes off.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to buy some mats for the kitchen. Like, I was thinking of things that were, very grown. And then for my actual birthday, I went out to eat. I took myself out to a really sedity restaurant that had hookah. And it was quality hookah. You know what I mean?
I did.
$48 worth of hookah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was upper echelon.
Couple questions from what you said. Number one, where'd you get the rug from?
Okay, got the rug from Target online. It was on sale, Tyler. You would have been proud. $50. Well, $48, but you got to.
That's all right for a rug. That's all right for a rug.
You know what I mean?
That's not bad.
You got about 5x6? 5x6?
5x8.
5x8 is a good size rug.
Good size.
So it's enough to, cover the living room area. So if you want to sit on the carpet in the living room, you could do so.
Okay, next question. Entree. What did you order?
Okay, so I got apps.
Okay.
So I got bang. I think it was bang bang shrimp or something like that.
Not the bang. That's what the niggas like to get, boy. That
You know what I
bang
mean?
shrimp for the niggas, boy.
Tossed it up. You know what
Oh
I mean?
man, go ahead.
Then I got for the entree I got wagyu steak. I was like,
Woo!
Oh, you got the wagyu. You got the wagyu.
Now I've heard of wagyu.
Wow, that's that marble. That's that marble on the steak.
Hey, that $150 steak right there. Why you doing $150 steak right there?
That's a birthday steak right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it was good. And then I had some mash on the side. No, I didn't get mash because the guy was like, I wouldn't recommend the mashed potatoes. I was like, respect, cool, love the honesty. I got cream corn with mac and cheese.
Okay.
And it wasn't, they got a new kitchen staff. So he was just like, I'm going to put you on game. I would stick with the corn and the mash. I mean, the corn and the mac. And I was like, you know what? Respect. You are back there. I'm not. So you know things I don't.
I like that. Now, if you got a steak, I'm going to assume you got a wine.
No, I'm a hood rat. I got an espresso martini.
Oh man! Everybody getting that nowadays. That's
everybody love those things.
That's the black women drink right there. Now, boy.
Tyler.
I had about 6 of those. Those do what they need to do.
Hey,
yeah.
Them dairy drinks, man. I don't be messing with them.
Not anymore. Not no more. Yeah. I don't do that.
I don't.
Your stomach be fucked up off that?
No. I just know my stomach probably will. So I never mess with it. Never had a mudslide in my life, even though it looked good.
See, I'm not. I don't think I've ever had a mudslide. No.
Tyler knows. Never to have a mudslide again.
Hey, nigga.
It's fucking yellow like that.
This nigga threw up on my birthday.
Y'all need to cleanse. Y'all gotta clean that out.
It's not the fact that I had a mudslide.
He ate stupid shit.
It's the fact that I had a mudslide, pound of shrimp, a seafood platter. IPA,
Tyler.
Clam chowder.
IPA, clam chowder.
Irish.
Oh, this nigga didn't give a fuck.
Irish
he
coffee.
Didn't give a fuck.
And then another IPA.
Oh,
but it started with the mudslide. It started with the mudslide.
It should have ended with the mudslide. I'm not even about to.
And that's the thing. It should have ended with
the funny thing is, we always like, you gotta get that first.
That Tyler, no.
We was like, why would you get that first? Wait till after you eat.
No.
Shout out to
I just
Aaron
felt to see
and
the bubble guts coming.
It was a good time.
No.
Well,
and I didn't drive. I took a Lyft there and back.
Okay.
Very nice.
Wait. Was the Lyft black?
Huh?
Was it Lyft black?
Oh, the SUV joint?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I just had a double check. I just had a double check.
Yeah. And you know what? It's something about it. It's Tyler, it is in comparison to, when I went on first class that first time, I was like, oh, no, this is the bar. Yeah, this is, I can't.
Hey.
You know what I mean? We can't do economy.
And
if I do, it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
I upgraded when I took my flight from DC, and it is actually an amazing feeling.
It's a different, you know what? And I used to think Steve Harvey was like capping, but it really is. Once you are in that space, you're like, fuck, I got to figure something out. So this is the only way I'm living life.
It's a great feeling.
It's really nice.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. By the way, kudos to you for just being like, I'm gonna do some shit on my own. I really respect that.
I didn't realize that was like a big deal to like go out by yourself, because I've gone to the movies, I've gone out to eat. Like, this is not the first time. And so when people are like, bitch, you're by yourself, I'm like, yeah, it's you. If I feel like if you don't like your own company, you're fucked. Do you know what I mean? If you can't be with yourself.
I agree. I mean, here's the thing about what you did. Because I think a lot of us have gone to the movies with ourselves, maybe going to get some get some quick bite to eat, you know what I'm saying, at a little janky spot. But for you to like be fly, get dressed up, and do it,
that's a big deal.
That's like, I really fuck with myself. Like,
hard,
living my life like it's golden.
Jill Scott, you know what I'm saying, take a long walk around the park. That's really how it was. That's, you feel me? So I really respect it. I really respect it. You know what I'm saying? Round of applause. You feel me? I wish we went back to sound effects. All right.
Shade.
I got some sound effects.
I'll be honest with you.
You know, we could put videos in this bitch now.
Hey, my weekend was pretty.
Yeah.
Well, my weekend was whatever. Shout out to my god sister Anya. She having a baby boy. They do about a month after us, so shout out to her.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's about it.
They're gonna be really close. Cool.
I hope so. I really hope so.
She's not by herself.
Yeah. I need. It'd be nice to have, especially like when they're growing up, like a boy or a man that can look out for if he decides to. I could hold somebody accountable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You was supposed to be looking me out.
Yeah.
Grab his ass up.
I know your mama, boy. All right, man. So let's get to it, man. There's a lot of things that was happening this weekend. I know this is not on the docket. I'm sorry. Can we first talk about Freaknik? I don't know. Did y'all get a chance to watch the Freaknik?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
This is, I want to let y'all know that we have pre-meetings before said recordings.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity where Tyler can say said things. Like, hey, I want to talk about blank.
KC, I forgot until now because I watched the
Then
Freaknik
why bring it up? Why bring it up?
Because now this is why y'all bringing it up.
This is why y'all
we didn't go to said meeting.
Whoa, this is why y'all bringing it up. They're bringing it up because during the week, Jay was like, I know something we should talk about. Freaknik. I'm like, oh, that's what's up.
But
so
I didn't add it to the docket.
All right.
I said I added those to the docket.
If I keep this shit in. Don't edit it out.
We gonna keep it in.
You always going off script, nigga.
Always. This nigga like going rogue.
You are a rebel. You are a rebel
anyway,
without a cause.
Shout out to Freaknik. I found out my in-laws went to Freaknik in 92.
Oh, okay.
92.
I can see it.
They say 93 and 94.
I'm just thinking about the energy and the vibe. You know what I
can see it.
Yeah, they say 93 and 94 was the good years. It was all downhill after that.
Uncle Luke.
But we could talk about the Freaknik documentary another time. That shit ain't going
we could
nowhere.
talk about it next week.
All right. Now, there was another documentary that was more freakier than Freaknik. Okay.
Ugh.
The documentary on Max called Quiet on Set. This dives into the Nickelodeon, pretty much Nickelodeon in the 90s, led by
early 2000s.
Dan, 90s, early 2000s, led by Dan Schneider. And it was very disturbing.
Very.
Yes.
Mostly because we was watching this shit as kids. And to see some of this stuff as you look as an adult, it's like, damn.
Very inappropriate.
Yeah. Didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize
so
it.
how would we like, Jay, how would we like to start this? Like
So essentially the documentary is about Dan Schneider and how he started all these shows that we love, like All That, the Amanda Show, and he essentially abused everybody on the set from the adults down to the children.
Yes.
There was a lot of instances of like him just throwing his power around, making people uncomfortable, being alone with certain children and all this nasty stuff. And then also people who also worked on the various shows that he was friends with, it seemed as like he was close enough to bringing them along with multiple shows with him, were pedophiles. Yeah.
Just gotta say
I know that's a tough word to say, you know. I never said that word out loud, matter of fact. And it's just a sad documentary, and it's
necessary.
I thought it was crazy because there's a lot of shows that we've seen like growing up, like you said, like All That. Like I loved All That growing up.
I'll say this, and this is I think it's tough to watch because you feel for. I just think of me at that age, right? And how you're so vulnerable and you're so dependent on the adults in your life. And I think that's the part that makes it even sadder is like, here are kids, they have so much riding on them. Like, yes, they like a good majority of them is like, oh yeah, I want to do this. But then you start getting into a point where your money start rolling in. So now the family's depending on you. There's so much things that they had, so much baggage that they had to deal with that it's like, oh, I can't complain because there was one actor who was like, yo, I literally am getting my family out the hood. I can't. You know what I mean? It feels weird. It feels very uncomfortable and awkward for me, but I can't. Like, I have to do this because of X, Y, and Z. And then you also think of, as a child, like your understanding of adult and you're thinking, okay, the adult, this is somebody I'm around often. When we think about stranger danger, this is somebody I don't know, I don't see. So how do you explain to your child, yes, you see this person on set, but if they give you weird vibes, stay away from them. I think Drake's situation really made me sad because his father called it. Like, his father very early on was like, nah, I'm not leaving this motherfucker with my son.
He too touchy with my son. Like,
way too. And I'm so much of a person, like, you got to go with your gut. And his gut was spot on. He was like, no, I don't have a good feeling with this man. It's weird. And the fact that he told his mother, do not, I don't care whatever else you do not leave this man with my son. And you let this man have your son overnight? I don't know.
Yeah.
My mom was never for that sleeping over motherfucker's house. Never. And
especially
on top
if they
of that,
don't got no kids. Yeah, they don't got no kids. That's weird.
It was wild.
He was 40-some years old. He was like 30, 40-some years old. That's strange.
Yeah, and the mother, I feel like they was going through a divorce, so she could have been doing a lot of shit out of spite. But that's still like, still like on some real.
But you're not hurting me. You're hurting. You're damaging our son.
It's very ignorant as a parent. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Very ignorant. So
I just think it was sad.
Here's something I gotta say about Dan Schneider. Just hear how I'm gonna break it down. So I heard an Instagram clip a couple weeks ago. It was Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks from their podcast, and they was just saying like they can't really rock with a dude who doesn't have any female friends, like any dude. They can't really couldn't date a dude who doesn't have any female friends. Like, you telling me there's no woman in your life that you just not trying to, you just want a friendship with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of them you just want to have sex with. And so when I see the way Dan Schneider was treating a lot of the women, we're not even talking about the kids, like the way he was treating a lot of the women writers, the way he was just doing weird shit to them. It's like, how does a nigga like that get into a leadership position? Is nuts. Mind you, it was the 90s, but it was shit was just, it's just weird. You know what I'm saying?
So this is what I'll say to that too. This is during a time where I think before him they hadn't had a string of shows that was able to kind of reach the kid / preteen teen audience, right?
Outside on cable, because you had
on
like
cable.
PBS,
I'll say
PBS was popping.
I don't want to compare him to Sandra, but I think what Sandra's has been able to do with her string of shows is essentially what he's done on the kid side, right? And I think his success, which is the crazy part for me, is like those women were there for a good amount of time. So how can we really give him that much credit for the success of these shows? Because he wasn't the sole person coming up with the like writing and scripts like that. From my comprehension of the show, he was like signing it off, like, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I approve that. Yeah.
He was very involved with the writers room because he was with those two female writers. He was the head of the writers.
Yeah, but if you're a writer, you're writing something. And it has to be approved by the producer, correct? I'm asking. I'm not.
No. It's a team effort. But not necessarily. Like, because he's also the producer and the writer of the thing. So like, he's writing it. They're just helping him write the rest, a bunch of other stuff too. Like, they're suggesting ideas.
Got you. Okay.
So that's how like the writer would have like a writer's room, like how Tyler Perry doesn't have a writer's room.
Okay.
So yeah, Tyler Perry just writes everything by himself and be like, oh, you need multiple people to come. Like, that's how it was working with him.
Got you.
So, he wrote these shows and he produced these shows. He didn't become a producer till after he wrote like all that and all that stuff, because he was writing at first,
Got
and
you.
then they made him producer, and that's how he got bigger.
Got you.
Yeah, he was. He's also somewhat responsible for finding the talent as well. You know, finding the kids. So yeah, I don't know, man. It was.
I feel bad for Amanda Bynes. I kind of wish like she participated in it because she's all jacked up.
You know what? But I understand why she didn't participate in it.
Yeah.
She said it on her platforms that
Yeah.
you know she's not right because of things that transpired, and I think we waved it off as like, oh, this bitch is crazy. But it's like the other thing too is like it's very dismissive to say somebody's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're saying like, oh, you know, you're talking ludicrous. What you're saying doesn't matter, but it's like no, a motherfucker just not gonna pull the shit she was saying out of thin air.
Yeah.
And if you go back and you look at the show, why the fuck are you in a hot tub with a grown ass man?
Man,
in a bathing suit. When you watch Zoe 101, it's like, yes, these are preteens / teenagers, but why the fuck are they in like bikinis? And why is one of the girls like a boy craze girl so obsessed with like trying to get a man, you know, trying to get a boy, or you know what I mean? That shouldn't be her only angle. That was literally the only thing her character was worried about. And then the jokes, it's like the cum shots. It's just a lot of the innuendos is like, okay. It's weird.
I think my thing is, I think he really he got off on like being able to do those dirty jokes with kids and no one noticed it. Like I think he thought that was like really fucking funny.
No, but remember there was one scene, I think it was the Zoe 101 scene, where they were like, everybody said something on set, like they were just like, he had made a joke about it. Yeah. And then they're all, but also it's like, this is your livelihood. So how much of it are you willing to say? Because then he can burn you and you're not working in the, you know, in the field.
Yeah, well, no one was going to say anything to him. Like, this was literally, I think it was literally like his sense of humor. Like, he thought that shit was funny. And it literally, it just went over Nickelodeon, like, just like, just let's let it out. Like, that's what he's making it seem like they okayed it. But I don't think they even seen anything.
No,
because some of them jokes, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
the Ariana shit threw me. I'm not.
Yeah, the Ariana shit was crazy.
That
with
shit
the water,
was wild.
Oh god,
and the fucking potato and shit.
Yeah,
and
the like, squeezing the potato. Oh,
nah, hey, that pickle boy.
Yo, that's the one that assaulted.
Crazy.
Yeah, the fucking glory hole. I remember watching that shit too.
It's crazy.
I saw that shit on TV.
And that's the shit I think that's the issue is like, I remember being a kid laughing at this shit, thinking it was so fucking funny. And it's like, no, this is how we become desensitized to shit. Because you see it as a young kid.
That's a great word. Yeah.
So when you get older, it's like, ha ha. It's like, no, that shit is actually not funny. That's inappropriate. And this is why
we was very much desensitized at an early age.
There's that, and it's just like when you're younger, you don't even see it. Yeah, like it goes over our heads for a reason. It's when you become older and understand like life more and like the dirty jokes and shit. You're gonna see it then, because like some jokes like are and like they make jokes and shows and for adults and some for the kids.
So
like,
here and this is the part that I was like struggling to understand, or I understood it, and I'm just like, so who the fuck was Dan making the shows for? Because who was gonna understand these jokes?
Exactly.
Adults? Cool. Who are the adults watching the show?
You know
either you're watching the show because you're a pedo, or you have kids and you just happen to be, they're watching the show and you just happen to be there.
But like you gotta think about it. Has any of your parents actually paid attention when watching them shows?
No.
Think about it.
I was in the basement.
And then us watching it as a kid and then growing up and knowing what we know now, we're seeing it. If our parents actually watched them shows, they would have seen the jokes. And be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But they didn't. It just shows like our generation's parents really just didn't care what we watched.
And we turned out great.
Well, yeah. I'm tuned in.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
Hey, Tyler, you hear me?
I'm going to tell you this right now.
I don't give a fuck who Bluey is. What he talking about?
I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm tuned in. Y'all ain't going to play with me. Hey, she going to be sick of me.
No, V-Chip was created for a reason. Shout out V-Chip. Yeah.
V-Chip, what's V-Chip?
where they tell you.
Oh, shit.
I think it's either where they tell you or the parental lock.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
So my brother's slow. He put parental lock on the music video channels because he didn't want me to watch, bitches in bikinis shaking ass, 50 Cent getting shot. But I figured out the 4-pin like that. It's like, y'all niggas is predictable. But when he came around, bitch, man, how can you unlock it? It was like, bitch, you know the code.
KC, 1212.
That shit was 1994. Come on, brother. I was like, this is out of control.
God. Nah, it's tough.
Real sad. Real sad documentary.
Man.
It was shocking. Everything that happened with Drake just made me so sad.
You know what though? Okay, a couple people we would have wanted to hear from. Of course, Amanda Bynes. Mm-hmm. We ain't get nothing from Keenan or Kel.
Mm-hmm. And Dan Schneider was on their show. He was literally in their show.
We ain't getting.
So Keenan, this is the other thing of it too. Is like, yes, they probably witnessed it into a certain capacity, but I also feel like we don't know how. It's hard because it's like, hey, they have a level of success that they wouldn't have had they not been on that show, right? So I'm sure it like is a mind fuck for them of like, yes, I like shout out to that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
But how do I like compartmentalize that?
Oh, you know what? A couple things I'm realizing. Keenan and Kel are actually like they have stuff right now on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So I don't think them doing it was not smart for their paycheck at all.
Yeah.
No.
That's number one.
Yeah, they couldn't go on.
But also, we also didn't get interviews from any of the adults on the show. Like who were adults at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Keenan and Kel's parents. The nigga that worked in the grocery store in the show.
So there was
that's one I should have watched. So
somebody actually did mention the older brother on iCarly. They said that he was physically like, and you can see videos of him like
behind the scenes.
Yeah, getting in between or saying like, hey, all right, time to go home. Like, I do think there are some unsung heroes, right?
Yeah.
But it's also too, it's just like that wasn't enough, right? Like there were still kids being abused to a certain degree, or it's like that's only on the kid side. What about the women who are in the writer's room?
Yeah.
And like everybody else is just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
One last thing I got to say. While a lot of the black children went through some traumatic things, it almost looked like being black was a shield to anything worse.
Yeah.
Shout out to melanin.
Seems like it.
First of all,
but I want to name that black mama who was being, difficult. Hell, no, you ain't doing no shit with my kid.
Shout out to the black mama
it too. But this is probably why Keenan and Kel didn't really have no traumatic stories like that. And you gotta think about like Things Mom talking about Dan Schneider was a good man. From Zoe 101, the black boy, the black dude from Zoe 101.
What was his name?
His mom, Kyle Massey.
There you go.
Yeah. Corey brother from That's So Raven. Their mom went out and was like, oh, Dan Schneider was a good man. He gave my children a huge opportunity. I haven't even watched the documentary and like support of him. But it goes to show that obviously the black kids was kind of safe. I agree because
not to say it wasn't traumatic. Like some of the things they did traumatic, on the shows were crazy. But in regards to
I think it was just more so they were it was more racism than anything.
Yeah.
Like the dicks on the shoulders is crazy.
Yeah, the dicks on the shoulders.
That was wild. We could have did a better nose. That's crazy.
And that's what I think Dan Schneider was probably like, yo, this was like fucking dicks on his shoulders. And probably thought that shit was so fucking funny, but it was inappropriate. Like he's a weirdo. Fun. Like he finds like I feel like he finds putting children in like situations like that like innuendo based situations.
Yeah.
Like he gets off on that. Like he thinks it's so funny.
No, it wasn't funny.
Like he's sick in the head. Like it's crazy.
Well, look, let's move on to something a
little brighter.
A little brighter yet.
A little bit more fun.
Yeah, let's move on to something a little bit more fun. Motherfuck the big three. Bitch, it's just big me. Kendrick
That's a
Lamar.
caption. I gotta take
Kendrick
pictures soon.
Lamar
That's a bar.
showed up and showed out. Snuck
Out of
himself
nowhere.
into the Metro
For
Boomin and Future
sure.
album. We
You're
Don't
right
Trust
on.
You.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
On the
I
song Like That, Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar featured. Kendrick decided to finally talk about how he felt about first person shooter. Let's just pretty much that's pretty much
Yeah,
the
let's
gist.
name it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody knows back in October, when Drake dropped For All the Dogs, First Person Shooter was the single on that album.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say it was Drake and J. Cole. And the one
Mm-hmm.
weird part about that song is Kendrick was left out.
Yes, he
Kendrick was not
was.
on that song. And
Mm-hmm.
while J. Cole made sure to include K. Dot in the conversation, you know what I'm saying? We all know
Mm-hmm.
J. Cole brought up K. Dot and was saying the big three, is it K. Dot, is it Aubrey, is me. Drake made sure to exclude this nigga Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? In the bars when he was like, "Who the say it, Dan? Who the go? Who the go?" And it was like, "It should be, is it Cole or whatever." He ain't say shit about
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? So I guess K Dot just got fed up. The nigga said, "Fucking." Here's a couple things that's very interesting. The nigga decided to do this over a Metro Boomin and Future album. Who else worked with Metro Boomin and Future?
Drake himself.
If Young Metro don't trust you.
He was like, I'm gonna take your best fucking feature and your fucking best producer and just shit on you."
And here's a line before I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna go ahead. Let me go ahead and go. I'm gonna let y'all go in after I say this. Right, my favorite line on the bar ain't even the big three line. He said, Prince outlived Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And remember, Drake said, "I'm one away from Michael. Nigga, beat it." He said, well, "Nigga, Prince outlived Mike." I said,
I
"Hey."
mean, because let's have that conversation though, really quickly. Prince and Mike always were, I would say, pinned against each other, and I think ultimately, I
Prince
mean,
really didn't like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, they
he
did not
didn't.
like each other.
No,
Yeah.
he made it
Yeah.
known.
You ever hear
He
that
made it
story
known.
about James Brown when he when Prince tried to run over Michael Jackson with his car?
No.
Yeah, Michael Jackson used to be like, "Man, Prince is mean. He tried to run over me and my mama with his car."
Hey, that's cutthroat.
So I
Hey,
guess what
I
happened
don't
was,
like you, and it's on site. Prince was
sorry
a
to get
bugging.
off topic, but the story is that James Brown was singing on stage and he brought out Prince. No, he brought out Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson started singing and he's like, "Come on, Prince." And Prince was in the stands audience like, "What the fuck? Why are you calling me out?" And he did not like that. And
Ooh.
he thought it was a slight at him. And then when he got on stage, he fell. It was a whole thing. And then I guess after the show, he seen Michael Jackson and his mama walking out the venue, and he was like, trying to run him over with the car.
I mean,
I will die for you. Only you want me
hey.
to. All right. So yeah, KC, what do you think about the Kendrick first the verse, and then how do you feel about this beat?
So I think okay. So the beat, I thought the song itself. First of all, the whole piece of the body of work is nice. I enjoyed it. I like when Future gets with Metro. The track itself, I think Kendrick does a good job of writing any beat. Like he does not have a hard time finding pockets. Like his pen it speaks for itself. I thought it was interesting for him to take that jab because I'm like, J. Cole is the one who told Dr. Dre about Kendrick. So like their connection is like beyond, like, I'm not surprised him and Drake don't see eye to eye. That doesn't surprise me. I do think though it bothers Kendrick that Cole is cool with him though. I will say that.
Mm.
Can you imagine Jalen and you know, y'all are cool. Jalen's cool with a third person that you're not really cool with. You like, you know what? I'm not controlling. I'm gonna let you rock out. But then, all right, you see these
I
motherfuckers
understand that.
go on a trip together. You know what I mean? They out here like oh, y'all are tight, like y'all are for lifers.
Shit like
you know
that
what
happens
I mean?
in real life. That actually,
yeah,
no,
that's an everyday thing.
It makes you feel like, what the fuck? Like, what do you?
But Cole was probably just talking shit about Drake with Kendrick like a couple months ago. He's like, what's
So
this
can you
nigga
imagine?
doing?
So if I was Kendrick, I'd be like, yo, we were just talking about how this nigga's soft and can't really spit for real. And here you are. Now you give him a feature. Cool. All right. You on a tour with him too? That's it. And went off. And he was like, fuck it. It ain't no big three. It's just me.
I personally think that as well, but I also just think Kendrick's competitive.
Oh, it's
I
fuck.
think hearing the big three felt insulting to him because he thinks he's the best. He doesn't think he's the best. He knows he's the best. There's a difference. When you know you're the best, hearing anyone's close to you fucking pisses you off. Look at how this nigga Kanye went fucking out of his mind. Literally, it's the same shit.
Jalen,
like
that's how I agree. I
Yeah.
agree because when we look at the resumes, right? If I'm Kendrick Lamar, I go, my last 3 albums. Yeah, my last 3 albums all won Grammys for Hip Hop Album of the Year. I won a Pulitzer fucking prize. Anything I've stepped on, I've killed. And y'all niggas want to put me in the same conversation as Cole and Kendrick.
See, now this is my thing. I think he just threw Cole in there because he's like, fuck it. But I think his real thing is with
he ain't got no problem
Drake.
with Cole. You're very right.
No, I think
he got no problem with Cole.
He has some shit with Drake. It's like, no, me, you are not the same. Like, but I think that goes to the conversation we have. A lot of motherfuckers are not willing to say, nah, Drake, you pop, and that's cool. Like, people are not willing to say pen for pen, bar for bar that he's the one.
In the
and
bars,
I think you can't put them in the same category. But it's not to say they're not.
Yeah.
They're not a great level in their career, but I think it's just like Kendrick's like, no, we're not the same. We're not the same lane.
Kendrick talks about how the fact that for one, he feels like the Cole and Drake relationship is kind of phony. He feels like it's just being done to get the check. You know what I'm saying?
Secure the bag.
Doesn't feel real, and I can see why he feel like it don't
feel
real
because
Cole and Kendrick been rocking for a long time.
For lifers, they've been for besties forever. It's kind of cute.
Mind you, Kendrick never asked Cole to be on his album, even though Drake is on Good Kid, Mad City, as well as Kendrick is on Take Care. You find that a little weird. I'm always curious as to where did the riff in the relationship go when them niggas was on each other's music early on.
I saw an interview with Drake actually from back in like 2014.
Yeah.
With the dudes from, is it Rap Radar? Elliot Wilson. So he
the light-skinned guy.
Yeah,
was it the one on stage?
Yeah, it was on stage. They questioned Drake about it.
Yeah.
And they're basically, from what they were saying, it was like Kendrick was looking up to Drake till he found out Drake was the same age, and that's what pissed him off.
Or was it the fact that Drake probably didn't? Kendrick been sending disses to Drake for a long time, right?
He
now
has.
in To Pimp a Butterfly, what that nigga say? It was on King Kunta. Pretty much talking about how the nigga ain't write his own bars.
Yeah.
I think that really hit him too, because he was like, this nigga ain't even a real MC. Like, they ain't even putting in the work that I've been putting in.
That's what I'm saying.
And the cipher,
I think that's his issue.
And the BET cipher when he said something about nothing was the same.
Yeah.
Made that soft rapper crying in his pajamas or some shit like that.
Yeah. I'm trying.
That was back in 2014 when after Control came out. Because remember when Control came out and he took shots at everybody, and then the BET Hip Hop Awards, he had that cipher, and he kept coming at everyone again.
This is my thing about Drake, right? Kendrick drops that, and it's like, oh, okay, nigga, all right. Instead of him getting in the booth, because you're not gonna tell me somebody of his magnitude and money is like of no object for him, right? So if he really wanted to, the nigga could have recorded some shit on his PJ. Like, let's call it what it is. You get on stage and you start sucking on Cole's dick on the stage, metaphorically. And it's just like, but this is what we're talking about. Like the energy you be trying to put off on stage, put it on the track. Put like, you know what I mean?
But
And this is why I'm
KC,
convinced that he didn't do the back to. He didn't write that shit when him and Meek were going
I
at it.
No, I
understand.
think he wrote that.
I
I think he
understand
wrote
what
that.
you're saying, KC. I understand what
Do you know
you're
what I
saying.
mean? Put that
But-
channel that energy correctly.
But
Hit a nigga when you got 24 hours to respond.
Yeah,
Go.
when you get attacked by such a wordsmith,
yeah,
I
you
don't
No,
think
but-
it's
be
smart.
calculated.
I don't think it's smart
I'm
to
not saying-
retaliate so quickly.
I'm not saying he wasn't gonna be assassinated. Like you was gonna get fucked anyway, but at least get up and fight.
No, he will.
Try.
I think he will. I don't think he won't.
But
I don't
you
think
gotta
he won't.
understand when Drake.
It's too
when
soon.
Drake dropped. When Drake was.
You can't
Okay,
put
so
a
you
time
say how much time are we saying though?
You
How
can't
much
put a
is
time
too
limit
much
on it. You can't put
When
a time.
Drake was-
If
when Drake
Kendrick
was
put the
beefing
shit
with
out of nowhere, why he got to put it on Kendrick's
Exactly.
time limit?
Because first
I can
person
put it out whenever
shooter.
I feel like it. You know
First
what I'm
person
saying?
shooter came out in October. We
Yeah.
are in March of 2024.
It's a whole
Hey,
new
okay.
year.
Yeah.
That's about
Okay.
6 months.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I also, when Meek came at Drake,
He just was ready to talk shit.
But you
I
know
think
what?
Drake had a game plan going in.
I think Drake
nigga had back to back ready to go.
I don't think Drake really fucked with Meek Mill and probably already had those diss tracks in the chamber. Like I don't think he fucked with him, especially when Meek was messing with Nicki, because you know how Drake was all in love with Nicki. He's probably like, yo, fuck this nigga Meek.
Yeah.
And probably wrote some shit and had it prepared, and all he had to do was record it again.
So I feel like Kendrick mentioned something on his last project. I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
he took
made
a
a
shot.
Drake
You know what I
diss,
mean?
too.
So
I mean, he
it's-
straight up said Drake. He was
Yeah.
surprised when Kanye and Drake got back together.
Yes,
he was slightly
that's
confused.
what I'm.
Yeah. Kendrick went from
Kendrick
trying
don't
to
fuck
heal
with Drake.
myself. Kendrick went from I'm healing myself right now. I'm in the.
No, he said
I'm in
I'm
the
working
valley.
on. God's working on me, and while He's working on me, let me fuck you up real quick.
Yeah. He
He's
said,
just
"Don't
super
forget,
competitive.
nigga. I was in the park doing I
Doing
was in the
push-ups
park
like
doing
I was in
push-ups
prison.
and like I was in prison.
Because
nigga.
that shit was
Don't ever
crazy.
forget to some
Like-
soul music. To some soul
Yeah,
music.
just
nigga. I
some
was in
old.
the-
That shit was wild.
I'm like, why he trying
That
to
nigga
have
was-
the prison aesthetic so bad?
It
Nigga was
was
doing, oh my goodness.
like,
Nigga was doing up
what the
downs and
fuck?
push-ups in the park, nigga.
Like, what?
With some black jeans and an oversized t-shirt on, nigga, with sunglasses
Hey.
on. I said,
with
wait a minute.
sunglasses on.
Looked like the
what
nigga
is
had a
happening?
Black and Mild in his ear too. Like what
Swear
the
to
fuck?
God.
Listening
Wood
to
tip. I'm fucking
Funkadelics or some
screaming.
old school niggas. I said, man,
Uh,
what's going
Nigga
on?
listen to the Delphonics and shit.
Delphonics. Oh my
I'm saying-
goodness.
But it's not just Kendrick too. I feel like at one point in time, even Jay-Z was throwing shots at Drake. I wonder what it is about Drake that bothers these motherfuckers.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
A lot of people don't
It's
like
hard
Drake.
to respect this nigga. It's
Why you
hard
say
to
that?
respect this nigga. I think we've
Respect
all.
Drake?
I think I've had. I think, mind you, my wife may lead you to believe that Drake is my favorite because I do listen to the nigga a lot. I'm not gonna lie, especially when it comes to talking about women. But when we talk about when we talk about the hip hop and just rapping and
not
shit, it's
respected.
hard to respect the nigga sometimes because for one, you've never really heard the nigga get personal about no shit. It's really just a lot about at this point in his career,
women.
the bars
talks about is
are the
women.
same. You kind of respect him for doing the singing thing a little bit earlier, but when he started doing the singing shit earlier, that nigga wasn't rapping that good. Let's just be very real.
No,
You
let's
know
call
what
it what
I'm
it
saying?
is. Yeah, the bars weren't. They weren't.
We
They were different.
honestly, I think the perspective of this nigga would change if we just got like 10 straight Western Road flows or 10 straight middle of the oceans, shit where the niggas just fucking rapping. Cause he doing shit for the women. I get it. But niggas, when we talking about rap shit, niggas tired of that shit.
Yeah.
No, and I'll say this. I think that it also takes. I feel like him and Future, although Future, got his own problems, got multiple kids, take care of him, Future. But I do think, I forget on what song it was, where he was like, basically, I fuck on Megan Thee Stallions. Like, those are the kind of, I'm fucking on bitches that are bad. And if you think about that, that's a positive, light on Megan. Where Drake is like, I think, he had his little negative comment. So it makes me feel like maybe their perspective on women is like, they both get bitches, but I think they see them differently. And so that could be a piece of like, hey, we just not, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to be friends with somebody that doesn't move character-wise like you do. And so it's hard for
I see what you're saying.
So your theory is he don't like how he keeps taking shots at Megan Thee Stallion because he finds that disrespectful to women.
I think he takes a lot of shots at women that just ain't cool.
Yeah, that too.
And I think the Megan shit is just like recent, so that's on my mind. But it's weird because it's like, and this is not to say that Drake was the only one. 50 Cent said some crazy shit, but then also like 50 Cent didn't break no.
50. Niggas ain't
going.
You know what I mean?
50.
But you're Drake, you're prominent. You know what I mean? You know your pen has power. You know that you have a lot of motherfuckers tuned in.
Yeah, I will
that's
say
how
this.
you do it.
They do say that this album, to get to Future, since it seems like we're talking about the songs from the album now. A lot of songs seem like they take shots at Drake. Like the album being called "We Don't Trust You." It sounds like they talking about Drake.
That I can't say that. I can't say that just because Metro Boomin has always had the tag. If Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. So him saying we don't trust you, that's just a good.
But I feel like it's pointed, the way it's looking in the framework of things.
I will say this. I know we talk about the big three.
Yeah.
Leaving Future out the conversation is a little crazy. Honestly, if we talking about the two rappers that like the biggest of our generation that really changed shit, like left imprints, serious imprints, it's really Kendrick and Future.
You know what? I would agree with that because they both represent, I think, two sides of the same coin. So I get what you mean.
I feel like Future Drake was inspired by Future.
Yeah, because you got to think Future represented that, like, that's when the spread of like the 21s came out and all, you know what I mean, like the trapping and
thug niggas singing,
thug
niggas pouring their soul
like,
over that
like singing, but like auto-tune shit, talking about
I know they're all a branch off of Kanye's tree. I get that, but when we talking about our generation and when we talk about the biggest, like, and without I'm taking away sales and taking away numbers. I'm just talking about when like niggas really
just influence and impact.
We really got to think. Now Cole got that cult. I'm part of it. Cole has a cult following that, like, if you a Cole fan, nigga, you can't tell me ain't nobody better. I totally understand that. But, like, I mean, this nigga Future, you got to get a nigga credit. You got to get that nigga credit. So not only is it the fact that Cole wants to be labeled as the best, but niggas leave Future just straight up out the conversation when he should be in it.
No, that's real.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never even thought about Future being in the conversation.
Exactly.
Why is that?
I think it's maybe his style. Cause like you think about it, he's not rapping like Kendrick, Drake, and Cole. Like their style of rap is respected. The way Future does it is different. I don't think it's respected at the same level. You know what I'm saying? Because like they don't even mention Thug as a word. Like I think it's those three are like truly like respected as lyricists to be called the big three.
But it's something I'll give Future credit for is he's been in the room or the basement with a lot of Atlanta artists that are huge.
Yeah.
Like Outkast, like just for him to be able to be in that studio, be in a presence of Outkast, Dungeon Family, being able to see that and being able to take, and I think I'm more impressed with Future than Drake. And this is why I say that is because you're in these spaces with some like heavy MCs and lyricists. you're able to take that, right? And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna take that, but I'm gonna make it my own. I think Drake, okay, cool. He singing on the shit. But like you just said, Future's in his own lane.
And
And not
KC.
in it still like obviously like you said, not sounding the same like a Cole, like a Kendrick. Future took that shit and has his own shit. And I'll even say too, he has a following as well.
And
Like
KC,
his
Drake,
following is like, die hard.
Drake damn near stole Future's formula. What does Future do?
I see that.
Link up with a producer that like is popular, but he ain't popping like that. He makes some fire shit together. I'm gonna go to another producer, one of the young niggas. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you see Drake with Lil Baby and Drake all up in Atlanta. I thought you was a Memphis nigga. I thought your dad was from Memphis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can see why. I can see. Mind you, Drake, we don't know for sure if the album is really, saying fuck you, good nigga.
Take
but
your shots.
It can add up.
You can see it though. You can find it though if you look.
This is my thing. Drake strikes me as a motherfucker that I am whoever is around me at the time. So I think this goes to your point, Tyler. I think he's a chameleon. And although like that could be great in certain settings, right? But it's like he don't even give it time. You don't have eras. It's hard to respect it because you don't live in that long enough for us to be like, oh, he don't master it. There you go. He's a jack of all trades, but he a master of none. And that's our issue. Future has literally locked in with Metro Boomin, and they've literally honed in on their sound. Like they have a Future and Metro sound.
That's real. Drake
Instagram.
Has
yes.
Drake is like very much like Instagram. Snapchat come out, they got the little story shits. All right, Instagram,
boom, I'm
gonna
add
add
that.
Story. TikTok make reels. Oh shit, let's add reels. What was that other jump where you can go live? Oh, now Instagram can go live.
Yeah, Twitch,
I'm saying all the nigga really been doing for his career is copying shit. We don't know Drake's style. We don't know exactly what is like. Drake don't have a style.
This is what I'm saying. So can you imagine his Future? Like, all right, you know what I mean? The first time, he's probably like, oh, it's a coincidence. Second, third, fourth. It's like, all right, nigga, now I don't trust you. Like now I'm looking at you like you watching me, but you're not watching me in admiration. You're watching me in fucking taking notes. And you know what I mean? It's like, nah, I don't know. I don't think it's far-fetched.
Real question though. Should Cole get in on this battle?
I don't think he needs to.
I'm gonna be honest.
I think it should be like, hey.
If Cole know Kendrick, like we know he know Kendrick, hey, this ain't.
But
I'm a bystander.
Here's my thing.
Will say.
Here's my thing. I think I would love to see. I would love to hear it because for one, I know it's not gonna go outside of music, but it's be the greatest display of rap bars we've heard in a long time. This may be bigger than fucking Nas and Jay. If Kendrick and Cole just decided to go ball for ball.
I will say if he does, I know it's gonna be good. We're in store for one of the greatest rap beefs of all time.
And it
even with Drake getting involved, if all three of them start beefing and they start throwing shots at both each other, it's a three-way fight.
It ain't even really gotta be on some throwing shots at each other, but this could be the most braggadocious shit ever.
Yeah.
See, now I'm gonna take y'all back.
All I need to hear is say "fuck the big three." All right, just say something. That's all. That's all I need to hear.
I'm gonna take you back to a time, and this is when I say like I love and live music. I remember when 50 and Kanye had their little shit, right? Where it's like, you know what I mean? That you remember the like atmosphere around that, like the hoopla, because you got to think, it's like I didn't know 50 like catalog until I went to the rodeo, and I'm like, oh, like 50 got tracks.
50 Cent said he would retire.
If we had something like that with Cole and Kid, man, I'm telling you,
can you
even
imagine?
If it's like joint album, but we going back and forth, that shit would be fire.
Oh,
that would be amazing.
But I tell you what, Cole has been promoting the fall off, right, for a long time. So everybody named Mama know it's coming.
Yeah.
He got the worm on the hook at this point. Stop.
Imagine if Kendrick drops the same day. Just sneaks it. The Kendrick
Ooh,
album just
That
dropped.
I
Same
think
day we saw
that might go to fisticuffs
that would
over
end
that.
a friendship for
That
sure.
would
But
end a
that'd be
friendship so
the
fast.
greatest shit. I mean, because I say
no,
that.
but
I
that'd
say
be
that.
the greatest shit ever, though.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
say that.
historic.
I say that because of what you're saying about Kanye and 50 when they both dropped the same day.
Yeah.
Was it Kanye dropped Graduation?
It was Graduation and then Curtis. And
Yes.
50 Cent, they both was like, whoever sells the least, whoever sells more, the loser has to retire. I mean, 50 Cent basically.
He kind of did. He dropped
Yeah,
songs
he
every
kinda,
now
yeah.
and then, but that nigga doing all right.
Yeah, he doing all right.
Shout out to
I
Stars
mean,
and Power.
he got blown out of the
Caitlyn and all
water
that
too.
shit.
It was actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was a little embarrassing.
50?
Yeah. No one
But you know
talks
what?
about it, but it was a little embarrassing.
But you know what? But I do think that was a good time though, because
Yeah.
now it's like, no, we can hash shit out and let the music do the. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
nowadays, where I feel like a lot of our rappers are, it's getting to the street shit. It's like, no, let the music be enough. Let the sales be enough. Let that shit, put it on the flow and leave it there. That's it.
Yeah, I hate that. Yeah, I hate when it goes outside of rap. It's like, come on, man.
Because it's not fun, and it's just like,
yeah, it's like, come
you
on,
gotta
man.
know as a rapper, this is a competitive sport. This is a sport at the end of
But
the day.
it always is usually like little things. Like it goes by the bars, and then someone gets upset and does something fucked up to the other person. It always just snowballs.
And I don't think it's gonna happen this time because Kendrick
I don't
got
think
kids,
so neither.
Cole got kids. I think.
Yeah, Kendrick's in therapy. Kendrick said God's working on him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be the best 3-way beef because Drake's gonna keep throwing shots at Kendrick.
I wonder if Cole called him that night and said, "You motherfucker." You know what I mean? You dirty motherfucker.
Meanwhile, Big Sean's dropping a song talk about not being in the big three.
Man, Big Sean got wiped away from the convo, man.
Completely wiped away from the convo.
He made a song?
Yeah.
He dropped two singles.
You gotta know, you gotta know your place.
He didn't know. He just thought he was dropping against Future, but nobody knew Kendrick was gonna be on Future's album.
Right, because when the album dropped, Kendrick was not labeled.
He didn't have anybody.
No, he doesn't have anybody listed. So you're listening to it.
It's listed now.
Oh,
the
now?
first day
now.
Oh, because when I tuned in, I was like, oh shit. And then I heard Kendrick. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit. I went on Twitter. I seen it on Twitter.
I should have known something was gonna happen when the beat dropped. Yeah. I said, oh.
And I will say, you know what? I love to see. I know we talk about Future, but I love to see Metro Boomin's progression as a producer. Yeah. He's made, and this is my thing. I always think like, damn, how can he get better? Like, how do you improve on some shit that like was top tier? The interludes were on point. And this is why I think he was taking shots at Drake because of the little snippets and the shit that was being said and the sly comments. I'm like, well, this is aimed towards somebody. You don't just randomly drop
I think so.
We don't trust you, and it's not aimed towards nobody.
I love how Metro Boomin's production, because he always tight with 21. His production with 21 is a little bit more outside the box, because 21 gonna come with some real like gangster shits most of the time. So some of the beats for him was like outside the box, like with Red Rum, and it was like some lady opera singing or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with Future, it's kind of like, all right, we get back to the grimy, tough 808 heavy beats. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting how he can just be he got different personalities based on whoever he working with. It's kind of crazy.
I will say I've been waiting for that song Cinderella to come out for mad long. That was a SoundCloud song.
Oh, for real?
SoundCloud?
Yeah. Yeah, it was on SoundCloud first. And that shit goes hard. And I didn't know they were officially going to release it anytime soon. I'll wait for that song for mad long. Because it was just a snippet that someone like you looped on SoundCloud.
That's the shit that takes me out is the snippets. Like, don't tease us of a good time.
Yo, but you tell me why. Okay. I know we're gonna talk about Freaknik next week, but that was how they was spreading the word about Outkast. So they was like spreading the word by handing out these demo tapes, right?
Yeah.
And they had I want to say Players Ball as a single, but then on the other side of the demo tape was 1 minute snippets of like Get Up, Get Out, Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. So it's like it's always been a thing. I hate it, but it makes you want to be like, oh, I really gotta like tune in.
Yeah.
But it was interesting.
That's good
That's
marketing.
interesting, and that's interesting just because of we talked about a Future's history with the Dungeon family and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, Casey, before we move on, I wanted to get your opinion on Cowboy Carter album cover. Her dropping, she posted something about 10 days before saying like, all right, this ain't.
And read every single word in the fucking caption. She said what the fuck she said. Yeah.
Don't that come out this week?
Comes out March 29th. Yes.
The Friday. Yeah.
What was just I don't want to say quickly, but what was your opinion on it?
So this is my thing. I think it's important for people to understand that Beyonce has surpassed a certain level, right? And I think for a long time it was just like, yeah, she's a cool performer. Like, like people were hesitant to give her kudos because, Michael Jackson, I mean, he put blood, sweat, and tears in years into, his craft and getting to the point where people are recognizing him as king of pop, right? And so I think for Beyonce, she is, and we spoke about this before, she's kind of at that point where it's like, I don't even have to tell y'all niggas when I'm dropping shit for real. I drop it and that's enough, right? And I think it was great that she did the post and just named like, I'm not doing this out of like, I don't want to say spite. I think she's doing it because it's like y'all niggas didn't hear me. Like I'm Beyonce. I am the one, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go into these different domains and categories, and not necessarily do it as a country album. I'm gonna do it because it's gonna be a Beyonce album, and I'm gonna use country as my influence, or I'm gonna use country as my muse, or you know what I mean. If you want to think about it artist wise, as my paintbrush, as I paint this picture for you. But I think, yeah, she's at the point where she's like, fuck y'all. Like, the hell? And I think there was a situation when she performed, this is when she did, I believe, Daddy Lessons on Lemonade, if I'm not mistaken. Or yes. Beyonce. Lemonade. Yeah.
When she performed at the Country Music Awards?
Yeah, she had the Dixie Chicks, and I think she was very, intentional. Dixie Chicks have been like blacklisted from the CMAs, and I think her reaction that she got from people is not when she's like, okay, this is another barrier I have to break down. This is another room that motherfuckers say I don't belong in, but I'm gonna show you I made this room. Like you have this room because of entertainers and performers and artists like me. Because she said this multiple times, but I think now we're in this day and age where we don't appreciate albums, right? We're like, I'm not gonna say no names. Motherfuckers keep dropping singles, right? And we're not dropping bodies of work. People are not respecting an artist's album. You hear the first 5 say, oh, this is trash. No, listen to the whole album. Take the time to really consume and digest it. People are not doing that. And I think she's a genius and she knows, I think she's ahead of her time. And so I think, yes, we've appreciated what she's done, but it's just now that people appreciate the Beyonce album. It's now that people appreciate, Lemonade and all that other shit. They didn't understand it at the time, right? She's the reason why now you got niggas like Future, like, I'm just gonna drop it. I'm not gonna say nothing. Nobody was doing that before. Right. And so I think now she's trying to break down the barrier of genres and categories. Like we don't necessarily need that. This is not a country album. It's a Beyonce album.
Said. Yeah. Well said, KC. Well said. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate your words and opinions. Okay. Yeah, we said what we said last week. So I just want to give
Tyler said the same thing.
I wanted to
in
give
less
you
words.
Sorry,
we wasn't as entwined with the Beyonce culture.
Let's talk about.
I go hard for mine. So
before we get into the craziness of the world, big shout out to Sir. Last Friday, he dropped an album called Heavy. Sir really talks about how he was going through a lot. I'll listen to his interview from on Sway. This nigga went to rehab 3 times for alcohol addiction.
Damn.
And it was just a lot that he went through, and a lot of this album was just him kind of singing about that. That's why it's called Heavy, because he feel like the album is pretty heavy. Hey, he got some good joints on there, like he got some R&B joints on there too. So it's not like this joint's depressing, but there are some songs where he really, feel like it feels like he's pouring out his soul, and I respect it. I really enjoyed it. I got to go back to it. But I like this shit. So shout out to him, man. I like Soul never Sir never seemed afraid to drop music. Even like since he signed the TDE, when he feel like he ready, he drops it. It don't seem like he's like, oh, here's a snippet. What y'all think? And he don't really be giving us that. It's just he gonna drop.
He did drop a music video.
Yeah, so he I think he was supposed to drop last year, and I think he started to go through. That's around that time was when he started to go through rehab processing.
Okay.
Things started. Yeah, he had to figure himself out.
Dang.
So, shout out to Sir.
Shout out, Sir. I fuck with Sir.
This nigga, man, he just can't avoid
hot off the presses.
Hot off the press. A black man, billionaire, Diddy house, Miami home was raided by Homeland Security. Allegedly.
What does it mean to be raided? You can't assume.
Oh, you know what? That's the thing. AKC.
His house was raided by Homeland Security.
Jalen, criminal justice major. What does it mean to be raided?
Though?
I mean, they raided his house. They're looking for shit.
So you're going in the house and you're just looking for shit.
That's
what I wanted. I know what it means, but you can't assume that everybody knows what the fuck raided means. We can't make an assumption.
You the criminal justice major here.
That has nothing to do with criminal justice. It just sounds a lot. That's like a police procedure, but like it's not like if I was
them niggas. The video. So if anybody hasn't seen the video, them niggas was up in there like they was about to go into war. Now, mind you, Diddy is allegedly being allegedly what's the word? Accused of being part of human trafficking. So I get it. I
out here selling pussy.
Why you would go in there.
Not giving these bitches no benefits.
This shit is crazy. Now also Diddy sold all of his shares of Revolt to undisclosed. Is that the word?
Yeah,
Anonymous.
That's funny, weird. That's not
smart
funny.
Man. Whoever bought Revolt, smart man for keeping your name out of this conversation.
Yeah.
I am curious as to why. Normally, people, most people know the number as to how much he sold it for. I'm curious if he made a profit or not. But
I don't think he cares
at this point.
Yeah. Sounds like he's trying to flee.
Well, it sounds like either trying to flee or you got to get your money together for.
Well, because one of his private jet got tracked of leaving to go to Cape Verde.
Oh,
and they thought he was on the plane.
That nigga's like, I'm to Cape Verde. Fuck is we talking about?
So they're not sure if he was on the plane or not. So they're speculating that he put a bunch of shit on the plane and flew it over to Cape Verde because Cape Verde is not a country without extradition. So he can't be extradited in Cape Verde.
I'm gonna say something and then I will give y'all the flow. I'm gonna say something and then y'all can have it.
Yeah.
I was listening to It Is What It Is podcast, and Mace was just talking about how, like,
y'all remember that crackhead?
He was realizing, huh?
Y'all remember that crackhead? The one that was viral.
I don't know what you're talking about, Casey.
Okay,
I saw you doing something in the camera, but I don't even.
I'm gonna send y'all the video. Y'all are gonna know when I send it. But go ahead.
All right.
Sorry, y'all know I got ADHD. Go ahead.
Mace pretty much said like, he felt like in '99 when he left Bad Boy, he had to escape Diddy. In order to escape Diddy, he had to go, become a pastor and and wow.
That's great. You know what evil shit you gotta be doing that the only way I can get out is through God?
And he feels like while he did like lose money at that time, him leaving at that time was
he said, I got my soul.
The best thing he could ever do, and he ended up, of course, getting his money back through the pocket, through It Is What It Is and all of this stuff. But
it just seems
interesting to say that. It's very interesting to realize that, a lot of these niggas knew what was going on, and at some point you had to make a decision. A lot of people could have made a decision a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I gotta say about this situation. Go ahead, y'all.
So this is my thing, because I think we brought up a lot of good questions in our group chat. One, the conversation of like, is he the ringleader? I think when we're talking about the government doing a raid, is because they've been watching you for some time, and not no 2 weeks, not no couple months. This is years, because they only come and raid your shit when they have solid evidence of like, now we got you, nigga. We're busting in and we're taking shit. They took hard drives. I will say this is not one of them situations where it's like maybe he's innocent. No, the nigga did some shit. Now, I would like to know where he is on the hierarchy. Are you the top dog? Are you the bottom of the totem pole? Like, where are you falling? And who else are some big names that are also involved? Because when you think about it, this is not,
Allegedly.
like you said, allegedly. Some people, like you said, Mace is like, nah, I got to get away from that. That's not what he was doing, was ungodly. I got to get right with God. I'll get that money back somehow in another way. Right? So it's like, I would love to know who stayed and was like, nah, this money good. Because I'm sure that whoever was with him or affiliated with that situation was, they were broken off some change, some money. So I would love to know, what does the ecosystem of it all look like? And if that nigga go in, I know he's telling. That nigga does not look like he keeping his mouth zipped. He look like he telling on everybody. He's singing like a canary. That nigga does not strike me as a 21. I'm holding it down for the dogs. Not at all.
I also think it's crazy how this is all happening on top of the lawsuits that he's been had come out against him, from the Cassie one to the most recent one where the guy who worked on the Love album.
Yes.
Yeah, he's suing Diddy because he said he was put in precarious situations. I saw a bunch of videos of Diddy and various rappers like having sex and stuff like that, and women being brought in and sex workers and all that stuff, and just sexual assault, like a bunch of stuff come out, and now this is the next phase. So I feel like, to add what you said, Casey, I do think they've been on this nigga for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the feds don't just come just to come.
Because it's a Tuesday.
Like,
that's not what's happening.
The feds come because they have a 99% conviction rate. So like they don't get you unless they know they're gonna convict you. So
shout out to the 1%.
Yeah.
Real ass niggas. Y'all some real niggas, man.
I think
the shout outs coming solely from Tyler. Tyler.
No, real shit. No, I heard.
No, not no real shit. Tyler, you fucking killed me.
Yeah. Real shit, Casey.
Shout out to 1%.
No, cause I be listening to this podcast, the Native Land podcast, and that nigga Andrew Gilliam. I don't know if y'all remember Andrew Gilliam running for he tried to run Florida governor, but he got indicted by the feds. They tried to say he was using campaign funds for a whole bunch of shit, and he got out of that scot-free. And shout out to that nigga.
Yeah. But they didn't raid his house with Homeland Security.
No, they didn't raid that nigga out. No, but they did have niggas undercover. They did have niggas undercover as his friends for like 2-3 years, trying to get him to like do some wild shit.
You know what?
That's
I wouldn't doubt that that's like a good majority of their evidence is like they probably had insiders, because
they got people undercover.
They're good for, hey, we got you doing X, Y, and Z. Now you could be excused for all that shit if you do A, B, C. You know what I mean? Like they have to have ample evidence. Like they're not. They don't just do a raid just cause. Like that's
because they have to get a warrant. There has to be a reason to get a warrant. They have to have something they can prove.
Allegedly,
no, it's not alleged.
No, I'm saying allegedly. How much do you think? Like one of them. How many of them niggas was the feds? Like, can the feds get away with doing some wild shit in the name of the feds?
They can.
Well, it's
in the name of like getting evidence for a case. I feel like
there's also a thing of it's also a thing of like entrapment. You can't like coerce somebody into confessing to a crime, like without their knowledge. Like it's like a weird thing. Like it's not like
you can't record them unless you announce
No, you can record. No, you can record them. No, if you're undercover, you can record them. That's why they wear wires. But like you can't like just like if you go undercover and like let's say you start doing a crime, and then they do the crime too. It's like it's kind of hard to get somebody like involved with that, you know.
Oh wow.
I think it's what you call it. I think they've been watching it for a long time.
You're
and
going to jail.
I
Got
just
him. Lock him up. Throw away the key. They're playing with his booty, yo. They gonna eat that nigga up.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Oh, that's a great song. That's a great.
You know what? And he Diddy strikes me as a motherfucker to walk around with his shirt twisted in. He strikes me as spicy.
What would you go?
We're all
say,
thinking
Jay?
it.
My bad, Jay. We cut you off, my nigga. I ain't mean to do that to you. My nigga on the what's that movie?
Longest Yard.
Game. Longest Yard. Oh, he the cheerleader. He was chasing Funky.
That nigga was zesty. Hey, oh God, that's literally what I had in my head, Tyler. Woo. Wow. Anyway, hope his sons are doing good.
Yeah, they had them all locked up. They what you call it? They had them all handcuffed, dragging them out. They got like, it's crazy because at the same time they caught an alleged drug mule of Diddy's too. This 25-year-old drug mule.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was connected to Diddy too. So a bunch of shit like domino effects. Because they didn't just raid his LA house. They raided his Miami house too.
Two locations. That's
they came in on a boat and everything at the Miami house. They had fucking the army with boat had armored and shit. Yeah, they was coming.
You're going.
Yeah, they was coming.
Yeah, you're going, bud. Get
but
you
yeah,
a nice,
he's done.
Overnight.
I mean, if he gets off, good for him, I guess. But I don't think I think he did everything they like. I believe all the rumors now that they're coming to light.
No, at this point,
because even when there were just rumors, you'd be like, I don't see Diddy doing that, right?
It
was
never no shit where it's like Diddy. It's always like, you know what?
I think I could see him doing it, and now it's all coming to light. It's like, yeah, that nigga was doing it. So like, get this nigga. I feel bad for his kids.
Here's the question, y'all. And I've asked this before. I don't know if we really answered it. The legacy of Bad Boy. At this point now, what is it?
I mean, if he was using it to run a human sex traffic ring, like I think that tarnishes the name a little, especially if he's connected to a human sex trafficking ring.
You know, so the shit about it is
because KC, you put in a group chat earlier today the video of his neighbor talking about he was bringing in minors at the bus load.
Yeah. At like 3 a.m. type shit.
Yeah.
Like these are ungodly hours. This is my thing. Yeah, 3 a.m. That's ungodly. This is my thing about it is it's kind of similar to the Nickelodeon situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were people from his girl group, Danity Kane. I think her name is Aubrey. And this is in low key, Tyler. I mentioned this. We could pull this up in another episode.
I know you mentioned
that something ain't right with this motherfucker. Danity Kane, day 26. Them niggas was on a roll. Something ain't right here. I think because they didn't want to dick around and playing his booty hole type shit, he was like, okay, I'm gonna take it to the hoop. Y'all are done. Y'all are over.
Now look at Aubrey O'Day. Everyone thinks she's crazy.
She's been saying this. I say all this to say she's been saying that the motherfucker weird and he off. And she was like, I'm not into that. I didn't want to do the shit that he wanted me to do. And so I was kicked off, or I didn't get as much love as the, other girls. Remember when he had them 2 black chicks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember that? No, I'm not even trying to be funny. There was an era because he goes through his phases.
One of them was Dawn Richards from
Dawn got a whole bunch of work done on her face, looked crazy, and it honestly reminded me of when Cassie cut half of her head off, hair off, not half of her head, but her hair off, just random. I don't hold it past him that he was telling Dawn like, yeah, get your nose done because your nose doesn't. I just think somebody that's manipulating women or people in general to that level of like altering your appearance, altering your body, there's something, you know what I mean? You're not screwed tight.
Yeah. This is where I'm very conflicted. This is where I'm very conflicted. Because there's a rapper named Notorious Big. There's a group 112.
He did it. Now I need the FBI to really take it to the hoop. Let's really dive in some shit.
I'm trying to figure out. Now, do we give Bad Boy the same energy we give R. Kelly?
I think you gotta stop, because it's not just Bad Boy, it's Diddy.
Nigga, it's Diddy's company. Diddy owns
I know
Bad
it's
Boy.
Diddy's company, but people were
Revolt today.
But like people were spurned from, like, came out of Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like
spared?
No,
spawned.
People spawned. Yeah, people came out from Bad Boys. Gotcha. And like Biggie, 112, all these artists who were part of Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Now, like, it's not Bad Boy that was doing it; it's Diddy that was doing it. It's not the company. You know what I'm saying?
But it's the same way. It's the same. It's really the same concept. It was like when a CEO of a company does some wild shit and we stop buying the products.
I wouldn't say.
But ain't nobody been buying Bad Boy products.
So
this is like, you're talking about like the art. I these are artists who made music that are part of Bad Boy. It's not Bad Boy doing it.
But dog, that nigga had his hand in every piece of the music. We not gonna say.
I'm only gonna say I think so many times.
My apologies.
This is my thing. I hear you, Tyler, but you got to think it's easier for us to say, let's mute this motherfucker R. Kelly, because it was one person, right? He didn't have like a network, so to speak, of other, you know what I mean, nuances. I think for me, myself, I'm going to only focus on Diddy. Like, I don't fuck with that nigga. Now, I don't want to impede or impact on 112's money or Day 26 money, because like you said, those are players that probably didn't see that side. Because I also think too, when you think of a predator, they're not showing that predator side to everybody. It's usually the most charismatic person, the most personal person. Like, you know what I mean? He's worked with other artists and other people, and he's done, producings for a whole bunch of people that probably had no idea what this motherfucker was doing after the hours type shit. Now, the rappers that do are aware of it, that's a separate conversation, but I don't think that the people that benefited, I guess, from his brand should be impacted, if that makes sense. Now, unless there's concrete evidence that like they themselves were doing the shit too and moving shit and doing some sneaky shit, then that's a separate conversation. But I don't think it should be the whole Bad Boy Entertainment company that is reprimanded for his actions.
Okay, because he's the person that did it. I can listen to Mary J. Blige. That's all.
Yeah, you still listen to Mary J. Blige.
I'm listening to My Life on repeat.
Yeah, it's not that he did it. He didn't do it in the name of Bad Boy.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm a assault all these people in the name of Bad Boy Entertainment. No, he fucking just was a sexual deviant.
He did it as Puff. He did it as
he was himself.
He did it as Brother Love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's also using his influence and power to get people to do some
but
shit.
That's his influence and power.
He gets the influence and power from what?
But Bad Boy was just his company. And that company felt like that was just his company. But he's bigger than his company. A lot of these CEOs that you're talking about aren't bigger than their companies. So the company's bigger than them, and they have them as him as his leader. They point.
I'll say this. Motherfuckers know Starbucks is like what, paying genocide and all this other shit. Motherfuckers still go to get a cup, correct?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know the CEO fucked up, but that's not gonna stop you from getting your cup.
Yeah.
I understand what Jalen's saying, but if you're getting the products and the products are not necessarily directly correlated with the crime, it benefits him. I'll say that it puts money in his pocket to a certain degree, but he's not doing those crimes because of Bad Boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that.
I guess this was the heat check just to see how much we really give a fuck.
No, I give a fuck.
Not to say you don't care. I'm not saying you don't care.
Oh, the motherfucker say after. Like,
I just wanted the heat check.
I don't think
Shout out Day 26, Kennedy Kane, 112. Y'all niggas is out here doing it. Well, used to.
Well, I don't think us still listening to Bad Boy even has anything to do with the situation, because Diddy's basically like, yeah, everything's Bad Boy, but it's not. Bad Boy ain't what Bad Boy was anymore. So when you think of Diddy, you think of Diddy.
That's valid too.
You don't think of Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Bad Boy is long and gone. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to bring it back. And it's not working.
At all.
Well,
right, Tyler?
So like,
if you truly think about it,
it was working. If
you truly think
if
about
he wasn't in the shit, it was working. Because the last I know I hate to say this, but the last album was good. But just because the nigga was down, if the nigga
it could be good, but it just wasn't popular. Nobody cared about it.
It was nominated for a Grammy. We not gonna say that.
Nobody cared that it was nominated for a Grammy.
Man, come on, nigga.
Tyler, we're not about to.
The songs weren't hitting. It's not. I'm saying it's not popular. It's not like in the diaspora.
We are being real.
It's just because y'all wouldn't listen to it. The shit
no, it has nothing to do. There can be amazing albums that nobody listens to. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. The album could be amazing. It could be the great album. But if nobody listens to it and nobody's talking about it, it's irrelevant.
It was a start to bringing Bad Boy back, but he failed.
It was okay, but that's not the point. No, that's not.
I'll say this: it was a failed attempt, Tyler.
Exactly, it didn't. It
wasn't because when you're looking. No. Let's compare.
It was number one album.
Yeah, but nobody talked about it. It was not talked about. The songs weren't being mass produced.
But how long was it number one?
Casey. It was number one for solid weeks. It was one when it dropped.
For a solid week.
There's
solid
no way.
Week it was one.
No way it was plural weeks.
First of all, you're not going to bring
Tyler,
out down for saying,
Tyler,
it was only one for a certain amount of time. To get the one
here's the thing.
It's tough
Tyler,
to get the one.
It's Tyler.
You can't go higher than
this
one.
Happened.
It's only downhill.
This happened, and nobody has talked about how
this motherfucker said you can't. Zero is higher than one. Huh?
But like, you could still make something that's amazing and nobody sees it. That's a possibility. Nobody listened to it like that. It could still be nominated for a Grammy, but like, it was a failed attempt of bringing Bad Boy back, like Casey said.
I would love to see how that project did versus his other shit. Because you're not gonna tell me, Tyler, just comparing his own shit to him, like him to himself. It didn't have the same punch, Tyler.
It had no buzz.
Buzz.
I'm not talking about
like
I'm not talking about how good it was.
No, I'm not talking about other projects. I'm talking about his shit. When Diddy first dropped his shit back early, I want to say in the 90s, he had there was like buzz behind it. It's like, oh shit. There
was anticipation.
Yeah.
There was no anticipation for it. He was doing interviews and talking about it.
He
was been talking about bringing R&B back for over a year. And nobody gave a fuck.
Yes, you can. You can.
Yeah. No.
When we talk about artists, Tyler, we talk about their catalog.
KC, Diddy, no, because
now
then,
you're not being fair.
No, hear me
you're
out,
not being fair.
Hear me out, because back then Diddy had everybody behind, like the biggest names behind the nigga when he said,
he had the biggest names on this album.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. There was a lot. There was a ridiculous amount of look when Diddy dropped back then. Mind you, hip hop was fresh. Everybody listened to it. It's the new shit. Ready to Die was out. Biggest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Mace, Harlem World, biggest shit ever. Like this nigga, and yes, there was big names on this album, but when we compare to what the fuck he had on the roster when he decided to do his own shit, it's not the same. It wasn't the same.
But it was probably
and mind
more.
you, the nigga didn't even promote the fact that he didn't even promote the fact that nigga had Justin Bieber, Jasmine Sullivan, all these niggas until like the day before the shit dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, he didn't have to.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but no one anticipated the album. He did press for it, and it wasn't like I always saying it's got no buzz. It dropped, it came, it went. It got nominated for a Grammy, good job, but nobody really listened to it. You don't hear no songs being people talking about these songs as legendary songs. That's all I'm saying. Ain't got no buzz.
You have to acknowledge that, Ty. We got.
It's hard to acknowledge it it's hard to acknowledge shit when people ain't listen to the shit. It's hard.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's
exactly what I'm saying, Tyler.
we're
nobody's acknowledging it because nobody listened to it. That's what we're saying.
We're just saying it don't have.
It didn't get listened to.
No,
nobody listened to it.
No, but the nigga,
people who listened to it said it was good.
That's what I'm. But here's my thing. Here's my thing, Jay. Listen to what I'm trying to say, and this is how it is. The only reason you didn't listen to it because you didn't know, nigga. I told you 1,000 times. The only reason you ain't listen to it is just strictly because you ain't fuck with the nigga.
Exactly. And that's why it wasn't a successful.
So you literally, so your opinion is void. Void on the album.
But you're not listening to what we're saying. You keep continuing to talk about how good the album actually was, and that people who listened to it would have heard it was good. I'm not saying it was a bad album. I'm saying nobody listened to it as if it wasn't talked about. It had no buzz behind it. It wasn't popular. It wasn't anticipated. It came out, there was no fucking album reviews like crazy about it. There was no songs that was just being played on repeat. That's what I'm saying, Tyler. I'm not saying that it wasn't good. It could have been great. I didn't listen to
it. All right. I'm good on it.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm good. Yeah. We don't agree to disagree. That's just how it is.
Hey, all right.
We agree to disagree.
Yeah, I don't know why you kept going, Jalen. I appreciate you though.
I respect it.
Oh my goodness. Let's get out of here. I gotta go to work.
Yeah. All right, let's roll out. This is an episode, classic of No Clearance Podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure if you want to hear the convo before the convo, subscribe. Patreon.com/NoClearance. I ain't got no merch on today, but make sure you get a dad hat from NoClearance.com/shop. If any of y'all have purchased anything from there in a while. But shit, it's still up. All right. Be on the lookout for Dare to Talk season 4.
3.
It's season 2, God damn it. It's
not
season
2.
It's not season 2. It's not
season 2. I already changed everything to season 2. I had season 4.
Season 2.
No,
I had season 4, and then you told me season 2 like 3 weeks ago.
So now we have to edit this shit out because it looks like we're not together.
We're still getting it together, y'all. This is a No Clearance Podcast, man. Stay black.
Oh, stay blessed.
Peace.